those who've been involved in this shooting to be prosecuted. We want not only for them to be prosecuted, but to be fired. Huh? Alright. Now I can. Alright, y'all can. Alright, so one thing we want from the police force, like I said before, is for those officers to be fired, arrested, and prosecuted.
Yes.
And not just those.
Yes.
So and not just no 15, 5 years in prison. We want them in there, locked up and thrown in the pool. Period. And you guys notice how 10 minutes was a long time, right? Like I remember. Just imagine if Amir got the chance to have those 10 minutes. He didn't even get the chance. Like I said outside, they only gave him 9 seconds. 9 seconds before they shot and killed him. Just imagine. When I watched the video, I just imagined. I couldn't even imagine. What if that was my brother? Because you all know I have a brother, he's a senior. He's about to go off to college. I have a brother. That could be my brother. That could have been my dad. That could have been any of my male cousins. Hey, that could even been any of y'all. Because remember the beer out the tailor case.
Come on.
You know, so and yeah, I'm just keep it short and simple. That you want them locked up under the jail. Now you just don't let people under it. And so if you guys have anything to say, the floor is open.
Great job. Yes. Great job.
Good job.
Hey y'all. My name is Khadijah.
Hey, Khadijah.
I'm a senior at North Community High School. Some of you guys know me, some of you don't. I see a lot of faces that I don't know. I want to applaud everybody for coming out here. Obviously, we're tired of doing the same thing over and over again, but until there's change, we're going to keep doing the same thing.
Right. Period. As we should.
If anyone has made a rational decision in 9 seconds, raise your hand. Like a rational decision, like a life or death decision. Has anyone made that in 9 seconds? Anyone? No? So why is it okay for police officers to do that? I don't think it's okay for police officers to constantly use. I consider the no-knock ban illegal because unless you're in a hostage situation or you have a fear of evidence being tampered, you should not use it. I think we're constantly being put in a situation where we have to defend other people and, come out of school to protest, to do sit-ins, to do all these types of things. I see my teachers, I see my principal, classmates. We shouldn't have to keep doing this, but until there's change, we're not going to stop doing it, like I said. And I believe that. And it's not just a 22-year-old black man that they murdered.
Right.
That was someone's brother. That could have been someone's father. That could have been someone's cousin. And that could have been a doctor, a lawyer, a musician. That could have been someone who definitely would have had an impact on how the world is. But because they took that life from him, we're never going to be able to see what he could have never reached his full potential. And as I look around and I see, people younger than me, people older than me, I don't want to have to come back and constantly do this over and over and over again. And I don't want to keep saying that, and I don't want to keep, saying it over and over again. But like I said, until there's change, we're not going to stop. Amir Locke was someone who had an impact on this world, whether you knew him personally or you didn't. I didn't know him personally, but at the end of the day, if that was me, I would want people to be here fighting for me as well. And this pandemic is not an excuse for police officers to constantly be murdering black people. I'm so over this whole, like, oh, I'm not gonna come because it's COVID. I'm not gonna come because of this. Because if it was you, you would want people to be here for you. And like I said, those officers, and like Taylor said, those officers need to be prosecuted. They need to be stripped of their badge because I didn't see no protecting or serving. I didn't see anything that said there was. I also feel like there needs to be some sort of law that if you do take a life, an innocent life, you need to serve at least a certain amount of time in jail. Just not before anything. If you are a police officer and you murder an innocent person, you should serve your jail time, period. I think that once we start making those changes, then change is gonna come. I feel like you would think that after the whole George Floyd murder and how it affected the whole world that things would have changed, but obviously it just shows that they don't care. And it's been constant. There have probably been people, black people who have been murdered, or just people of color, minorities who have been murdered who the body footage haven't even came out. And they literally have been covering that, and that's something that needs to change. I think that at the end of the day, there was no way that you could have justified that at all. There was nothing they could have said, nothing they could have done, anything that would have justified you breaking into someone's house. Mind you, that's not even the person they were looking for. I don't know if anybody knows much details about this, but they murdered him in 9 seconds. They shot him 3 times. That wasn't even the person they were looking for. The person who they were looking for wasn't even a suspect. They just wanted to interview him just to find out some information to whatever case it was. At the end of the day, I feel like it's not okay. Like, there's nothing you can really say that's gonna keep just justifying what they did. Obviously, you can't justify it, but at the end of the day, it's like, who wants to keep waking up and seeing that black people have been shot?
Not me. Not me.
That's something I couldn't even watch the full video. I'm not gonna lie to you, because that's not something I want to see. Because anytime I see that video, I don't just see Amir Locke. I see my brother. I see my boyfriend. I see my dad. I see my cousins. You know what I'm saying? I see my classmates. So the fact that, like, you know, it's just the same situation over and over again, and it's getting to a point where, like, I'm honestly just speechless, because you would think that these people who have been grown, these people who were able to go through police training, these people who were able to live their life would know right from wrong, because that's something we get taught at school all the time. We do something wrong, we instantly get punished for it. You do one little thing, you get ISS, you get suspended, you get this, you get that. But why is it not the same for older people? Why is it not the same for people who are in these positions who are actually taking lives? When we do something bad at school, you probably just did something, you probably just, messed with someone at school, or you might have just did something little. You didn't take a life, but you get punished as if you did. You didn't do anything that these people who are like, you're supposed to protect and serve. Like, raise your hand if you feel safe if you call the police.
That's sad. Wow.
When I was walking to my house one time and I had a gun pulled on me, I didn't call the police. I called her. That's who I called. Because I feel safer with my principal than I do with the police. And I feel like for us to march and come down here, I applaud each and every one of you for coming down here, whether you're a student, whether you're a photographer, whether you're someone just anyone, because it takes a lot to do this, and it's scary. It's really scary. Leaving your house in America is very scary. Apparently you can't even be sleeping in your own house. You can't sleep in your cousin's house. You can't walk around with Skittles in your hands. You can't walk around minding your business. You can't have a $20 bill. Like, being black in America is a crime. And it's so it's sick. And the more you talk about it and the more you say it over and over and over again, We want change to happen. We need those officers to be prosecuted. It's not a want. It's not, oh, we want them to go to jail. We want them to be prosecuted. It needs to happen, and it's going to happen. Because when people come together like this is when change happens. We came together for George Floyd, and we got justice for him, and we're not going to stop until we keep getting justice. And that's how it's going to be, and that's how it's going to continue to be.
Hello, y'all. Hey, y'all. I'm a singer, and my name is Naya. And how I feel about growing up with a colored brother is dangerous in white America. We live in a shadow of fear and distraught and pain and emptiness. We will never get peace because of our color. We will never get justice because we are never heard. We are always overseen. People don't understand that white America is not for us. We will never, ever, ever be able to be our happy black self, no matter what we do, because we are always undermined, always judged, always underlooked, always underserved. Growing up with colored brothers, I have 3 colored brothers. One of them got killed, and no, we did not call the police because when they got there, it was too late. They let the suspect go. My other colored brother, Isaiah Matthews, he is my colored brother. Nathan Hampton, he is my colored brother. Jameer Jackson, he is my colored brother. We have names, we are not just a color. My colored brothers matter to me the most because they are our protectors. But unfortunately, we cannot protect them because they need the most protecting. So I advise you to spark the most uncomfortable conversations you can possibly, because at the end of the day, we will never be comfortable in white America.
First off, I want to say thank y'all for coming. Y'all all, this is a big thing. And Khadijah and, I'm sorry, Naya. Yeah, y'all both, that's some real powerful stuff because that's the truth. And there's no other way that, it's hard to express yourself in certain moments like this because, what can you say? At the end of the day, stuff like this is still going to keep going on because we're overlooked. When is enough going to be enough? When is my blackness going to stop being a threat in the place that I lay my head? When am I going to feel safe around law enforcement? Because the same people who are supposed to protect us are the people who are killing us. The death of Amir Locke wasn't a coincidence. I know it was deliberate and intentional. There has been 3 deaths due to police brutality in Minnesota within the past 2 years. And this ain't something that's just natural. These things don't just happen. And the black community should not just stop until there is justice. And I mean by any means necessary. This will not be pushed under the rug or looked over. Amir will have his justice. And me and my peers will make sure that. So at the end of the day, as a community, we need to come together and make our voice heard because clearly they don't see us. Clearly we are not a priority in the community that we live in. So, thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm sorry. I'll let y'all go. But I'm gonna keep it short and simple. So my friend MJ can go. I just gotta say, first of all, shout out all the white folks that's here. Yeah, that's a problem. Thank you. Even though it is a bare minimum for you guys to be here, I really do appreciate that you guys are here. And I just gotta say that all my black folks here, we kings and queens. Just remember that we're all kings and queens. I got dreadlocks. Where your dreadlocks? Where your braids, bro? Where your braids? Where your afros? No, because the one thing they cannot take away from us is our blackness and how powerful it is. Just remember that. Our blackness is powerful. So, if you got any friends that don't look like you, make sure you call them out. My best friend right there. I'm calling you out. I call them out all the time. I call them out all the time, even though you don't have to educate them, but at least call them out, you know, because they might say something that might, you know, like, but you know, like just call them out, bro. Yeah. So, you know, that's all I have to say.
I don't know how to work this. It's on already. Oh, it's on? Yeah. My name is Mariah J. I am a 10th grader at North Community High School. I ask the same question every single day I wake up. Will today be the last day I live? Because I am a black female in America. Every single day I worry for my baby brother's safety. He is 7, a black African American. I worry for his safety because we are a target every time we walk outside of our house. No matter if we're innocent or not. We walk down the street, oh, they look suspicious. Let me go mess with them. We can't have our hood on because we might look like the person they were looking for. And that gives them the right to go stop us, shoot us, because they thought we were the right person. We don't get a chance. And if we do, it's not fair. We have to work for every single thing that we have. To get into college, we have to work 10 times harder. To get a job, we have to work 10 times harder. It's never going to be fair. Because we are black in America. We get told to go back to where we came from. We're from here. Where are you from? What's your culture? You took ours. I should not be afraid to go outside my front door.
You shouldn't.
I should not have to work 10 times harder to get what I want. Everybody deserves an equal chance. They say equal rights, but it's not equal for us. It could be 3 white people and 2 black people going for the same job. We won't get it. And if we do, it's because they didn't have what they were looking for and we just happened to have it. At the end of the day, we might not make it home. We gotta worry about that. When we get pulled over, we have to worry if we don't have our IDs. We don't get off on a warning. We might not even get off. We might get killed in the car. We might not even get to go down the road. We go into a store, we get followed. May I help you? Did you ask them that? Why do you think I need help? I know what I'm looking for. I have money. Because we are black, we are poor. We are less than.
We're not.
But when they're poor on the street, it's poor then. But when it was us, it was no problem. It will never be equal. No matter how many times now we go to the same schools. We ride in the same bus, okay? And how many years did it take for that to happen? It won't change until we keep riding, we keep having sit-ins. We keep doing what we have to do what's for us. And in a few years, it will still be like this. And maybe a few more. But we still have to try because we are black people in America. Thank you.
My name's Amir, as y'all know, I'm in 10th grade, and I'm kind of nervous right now, so that's why I'm talking a little fast. So yeah, I'm very nervous right now. But all I want to say is that, like, due to this, like, situation and everything, like, Hello? Okay. All I want to say is like I have a little brother myself, so like seeing that whole situation happen is just like I don't know. It's just like you don't know what to do about it and all that stuff. And it's like the police are just so irresponsible. As much as they say that they're responsible and stuff, they're not. Because if y'all were responsible, y'all wouldn't be doing this. And like for me to be thinking about, I shouldn't have to tell my little brother, teach my little brother to put his hands up on the car, cardboard at a young age. And that's just like I think about my little brother all the time. I'm the oldest sibling, so it's like I have to take care of for my siblings and all that stuff. And it's like I shouldn't have to be worried about if my brother's gonna make it home at night and all that stuff, especially with him growing up. And then on top of that, I have to worry about my father. Due to personal reasons, my dad was almost in, police brutality because like they pulled him, or they didn't really pull him over, but like he was playing music in the house and nobody wasn't complaining about it, and the police knocked on our door and tried to take him and all that stuff. And I was very scared that day. So it's like I don't really play about that type of stuff. As much as people think like I'm immature and all that stuff, but I reacted to that. I reacted for a reason. And it's like I don't know how to react to certain reasons, so that's just how I react. And like another thing, like for the mayor to be, to say that we should vote for him and stuff, like Ms. Free Slavin said, like why should we vote for you if you're not even doing your job right? Period. Like you should be checking like your police and all that stuff. Like you shouldn't even like if you were doing your job right, the police wouldn't even be acting like this. You would be checking them. Like they wouldn't be doing all of this. So it's like you need to fix either that or you out the game. Like just get out, leave if you're not trying to fix nothing. Because everybody's tired of this. We're tired of hearing black people being killed for no reason. Then on top of that, he had a licensed gun. 9 seconds? Like, come on now. That's no. So all I'm saying is like, if you finna be the mayor, then you gotta do your job right. You gotta do what's right. And you know what you gotta do. And I'm pretty sure this project's gonna go out. So if the mayor hearing this, like, bro, fix what you gotta do. Cause this is your fault right now. This is your fault. Like, you gotta fix it.
Hey guys, my name is Aya, and I know a lot of you have no words for what has happened for the past year or two, and I know a lot of y'all might be going through a lot of deaths already. Y'all might be going through a lot of hard times already, probably academically, emotionally. Your job might stretch you out. Everything. A couple years ago, I lost my father to gun violence. And we've been shown. So, I know a lot of you guys might not know what to say, or what to do, or how your words might affect anything. I understand that if you don't have any words, you might feel like it is affecting you simply because it's another black person. And I don't know if you're shaking.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. I know some of you guys might feel like your words might not impact anything, or I know you guys might feel like your words aren't being heard, but they will eventually.
That's right.
And that's all I gotta say.
We hear you, Ryan.
Hi y'all, my name is Amir. I'm a senior at North High School. And Amir's death to us wasn't just another man who was killed by the police again. He was a future that was taken from us.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I'm shaking.
You're good.
He was an aspiring musician that wanted to go to Texas next year to further his career. The Mayor Jacob Frey came to us, spoke to us on why he should be the next next mayor. Continue his. You got it.
You're right, Amira. You're right.
We got your back. And he didn't fulfill those promises at all. We are tired of this lawmakers not addressing police violence. And now another man has been killed under his mayoral whatever.
Yeah.
And we are tired of that. We will continue and sit down here until our demands are met.
That's right.
Come on. How many black men have to die for us to be heard? I forgot what that was. Sorry. You doing great.
You got this. Take a break.
Yeah, I'm not good at this. Yeah, I got so sick.
It's okay.
Be from the heart.
Amir Locke, only 22 years old, had a legal gun on him. It did not allow him to disarm. Did the Second Amendment not apply to black people? Come on! Yeah. Did it not apply? Had they told him put the gun down, he would have still been here. Had he not been, had he been told that there was police at his door, that he would have been alive today. Come on. That he would not have grabbed the gun that was under him for protection. They did not allow him to live. They didn't give him a chance. If he was white, would the situation have gone a different way? Anyway, that's all I gotta say.
Hi, you guys. My name is Asaya Bankhead. I am a sophomore at North High School. And I need you guys to give yourselves a round of applause because we are the that are world history teachers here at Plan. I don't think that's a round of applause.
George Floyd was murdered almost 2 years ago. It is Black history.
Right.
And someone in our community has been taken away from us once again. Do they not care? Or are they not learning? Because if we think that we won't go farther than burning down buildings and doing what we did in the summer, for George Floyd, they're crazy. Because we're going to do everything we can to get justice for Amir Locke. And that's what we are going to do that. I just don't think people think before they do things. That was someone's baby. That was someone's son. That was someone's grandson. That was someone's brother. That was a human being, and they took his life for no reason. And it's because they had the power to. And they're going to continue to do that unless we take that power away from them.
As we should.
Y'all might think to ourselves every day, like, we're just kids. Yes, we are. But we are the revolution. We can be the change. We have so much power, y'all. We have social media. We have access to things. North High, they talk so bad about us. But we have so many resources that they don't have. We have Martin Luther King. We have people like Mr. teaching us about our own kind, stuff that he's going against the curriculum to teach us. And they want to talk about us. I feel like we don't realize how much power we hold in this world.
Come on, sis. Come on.
living high school dreams like we see on TV. But we are black. We don't get that. We gotta work. We gotta do what we gotta do. Our high school lavish dreams, that's a side thing. Waking up every day and being drunk is the everyday thing. We wake up black, we go to sleep black. That is not something that goes away.
Come on.
So before anything else, we are black. And I just want you guys to know that it might be mentally draining, because it is. I've been drained for almost 2 years now. I think to myself every day, like, why? I'm 16 years old. We went through a lot more than average 16-year-olds do. People don't realize this stuff drives kids off to the edge. We are in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is our everyday life. We wake up to this, we go to sleep to this. This is what we go through every day. We're watching it on. Do you know how sad it is to wake up and watch your people slowly die off on the news? It's heartbreaking. It's always a new video. We got our moms texting us, don't go on Facebook, don't go on Facebook, don't go on Facebook. It's just hard. Imagine your parents. You want to go out with your friends, you want to go out with your boyfriends, you want to go out with your girlfriend, and your mom is worried. You guys need out. You can't live the life that you deserve to live because people out here are using their power in the wrong way. They are supposed to be protecting us.
Yeah, right.
And they're not because of That's crazy. I would never understand that concept. And I do believe that they need to be handled with immediately. Because I don't care what we have to do, but they will get the consequences that they deserve because that was wrong. I don't think they think to themselves like, what if that was me? What if that was my son that never came home to me? I don't think they care. You know what? I know they don't care because it continues to happen. We just tore down our own city almost 2 years ago. Do they not think we won't do it again?
Speak, man.
All I want to say is, it might feel draining. You might feel like I don't know what else to do, but I do know that we need to stick together as one. And thank you so much, our allies. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all don't got to deal with it, but the fact that y'all are here, that is so important. That is so important. But I want y'all to have this mindset like, we're going to make it and we're going to do what we need to do to get there. And Ms. Susan, and I want you to know personally, you're fighting for us and we're going to fight for you just how you're fighting for us.
All right, I don't even need it. Race is mind control. Organizing is power. Study. Study. Learn the law. Learn the law. Learn the law. Don't let the streets take you, because that's an agenda. Don't play into it. Learn the law, study racist mind control.
I got just one more thing to say. I have met so many white people that have told me, even though they are our allies, that they are fundamentally racist. It's not on purpose, it's on accident. That's just the way life is. But I got something to say to that. Let me correct you. We are not dumb. We are intelligent and intellectual. We are not violent. We are very tired. We are not shy. We are observant. We are not selfish. We are proud. We are not ghetto. We are creative. We are not quiet. We are outspoken. We are not black, but we are brown. I will not be running down my face. I will not let you see me sweat, but I will let you see me get aggressive and protective over my people.
Yeah.
Does my blackness offend you? I'm sorry, does my blackness offend you? Does my optimistic vibe make you clutch your purse? Does my laughter make you nervous? When you ask me a question to pull up my identification to prove that I am somebody, does that give you the right to shoot me? Because you ask me to do as I'm told, and when I do, you say, don't move, he has a gun, and then open fire. When he doesn't have anything but a white card in his black hand that you didn't even wait to see because you got nervous. I won't be another statistic. I love me. I love my black self. If I can't walk into a room with my black vibe, that ain't the space for me. I wake up every day black. I go to sleep black. I eat black. I go to school black. I go to work black. They know I'm black because they see black. You give us the shortest month of the year to tell us how black we are. And then you got the nerve to let us learn about the same people over and over and over again. What is that doing for us? We know Rosa Parks. We know Martin Luther King. We know everybody else who was in the civil rights movement. But do you know Assata? Do you know those type of people? Do you know the real Black Panther movement? No, you don't, because you hide our history and our rights from us. I will not let you tell me what I can and cannot learn. My black mind will not be on lock because you are scared of me.
High school. Basically, I don't really do public speaking. It makes me nervous. I shake a lot. I don't do confrontation. It makes me nervous. But hearing enough, like seeing everything, you kind of just like get tired of it. It's like, I'm a black man in America, and I wake up, I go outside. I'm an athlete, so I like to go outside, do some stuff. And it's like when I see a cop, my heart shakes a little bit. When I see a car drive past, I'm scared in my mind. I'm like thinking, like, what happens if they stopped right here? What happens if they stop and ask me some questions? Am I going to have the right answers? Am I going to be able to provide what they need from me? I know me being black, a black man, I can speak for a lot of the black men in here, the black young men included, It's scary. It's scary, and we're guys, so we're supposed to, we're supposed to be the protectors, we're supposed to be the providers, but we're scared. We're scared a lot of the times, and we're scared of people who we should be equal to, and that's what I don't understand. And so I came out here, because I'm tired. I'm tired of being scared of people I should be equal to. I'm tired of fighting for the same fight. I'm tired of the fight not ending. And everybody says, oh, when is enough? When are we going to be done with this? When are they going to stop killing us over simple little stuff that doesn't even make sense? Amir Locke was sleeping. Kicked his couch, woke him up. I would be scared too. If I had a licensed carrier, I would grab my gun too. Right. Because like you said, we live in Minneapolis. It's scary out here. Who knows what can happen? Life is life, but it shouldn't be taken by somebody else who's just not, we're equal. So why are you taking my life? Why are you taking my life for grabbing for a gun that I own, I legally own, my rights? You killed me for it. I'm nervous. I'm good. Tired of fighting and not feeling like I'm making progress. It just gets tiring. That's all. Good job.
Hello? Yeah, for those who don't know me, I'm Stephon, sophomore at North. I originally came up here for emotional support for my boy right here. But I just feel like to add on what he said, we should be able to advocate for ourselves and not having the ladies always speaking on what we should be speaking on. It's really us that are fighting for it. We should be able to fight for ourselves. And I'm getting a little nervous, so I'm just going to go sit down,
day. I'm a junior. I go to North High. And I wake up every day and ask the same question, like Mariah. Why is it that we have protests, we have riots? Our one question is, when is enough enough? That's my question. When is enough gonna be enough? Why is it that brothers have to keep dying? Sons have to keep dying? Why is it that we keep dying? We have white people tell us, go back to where you came from. How do we go back? You took us from where we were. You took us from our culture. You took us from our home to bring us here and kill us, torture us, beat us, rape us. And you want us to sit here? No. I wake up every day and I cry because I'm scared my brother's gonna get shot. 13. My brother's 13. Walks to school every morning. I call my dad every morning. Did he make it? Because if he doesn't make it, this city's going down. But why is it that I have to wake up, 16 years old, I have to wake up to make sure he got to school. I had to wake up and make sure my dad got to where he was. I had to wake up and make sure my uncles are safe, my cousins are alive. Why is it that I had to do that? They kill so many of us and they say they're sorry for it. They say they're not going to do it again. But there goes another one. And then there goes another one. And they sit and look at us like, what about the black on black crime? What about y'all? Like Stephon said, none of the females should have to wake up every day. No mother should have to wake up and think that that's going to be their last goodbye to their son. No mother should have to go through that at all. No mother should have to sit there and think that it's their last goodbye to their husband. When I see y'all walk down the street to go home, I have to make sure that every one of y'all go home. Because if any one of y'all go missing, there goes another one for their list. And are they going to hold that accountable for themselves? No. They're going to sit there and they're going to take it as another one. Oh, we got another one, y'all. Why do we keep dying? When is enough going to be enough? When are we going to be able to be comfortable in America? When are we going to be able to walk down the street, go to the store and get a snack, and see a cop car roll by and not be scared? When is it enough to where I have to stop calling to make sure my little brother's safe? When is enough that he has to carry a weapon with him to make sure he's safe? At the age of 13, he should not have to go through that. At the age of 6, my brother should not be bullied by a white boy because of his color. He should not be bullied because of how smart he is. My brother, none of them should have to go through that. None of y'all should have to go through that. So my question for the police officers, if y'all hearing, if y'all watching this, when is enough gonna be enough? My brother will not be next. My dad will not be next. Mr. Matt will not be next. You will not be next. None of y'all will be not be next. So when is enough gonna be enough?
My name's Brandon. I'm in 9th grade and I go to North Community High School.
Wait, speak it to the one. It's on.
Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm in 9th grade and I go to North Community High School. I wake up every morning and I get a call from my mom before I walk to school. And she tells me, be safe. Don't put in your headphones because I can't bang my music as loud as I want to bang it because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to hear anything when something pops off around me. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to be aware of my surroundings when I'm just walking to school. Every morning I have to look at my surroundings and look and see if there's a cop behind me. Am I going to be stopped? Am I going to be a victim? Every morning I talk to my little brothers and tell them, be aware of your surroundings because I don't want anything to happen to them. I do this every day because it's a generational decline in my family with black males. They've all gone to jail because they did something or they were shot and killed. My uncle, he's in jail because a police stopped him and he was a victim, he was a suspect. But he wasn't the one. And this happens in every black family. There's always a problem everywhere. And they say we do not belong here, but y'all took us from where we belong and enslaved us and made us do y'all work for y'all. Y'all made us build up everything so y'all can have the pleasure of living and doing everything without a problem. Y'all made us come in here and do it so y'all can have a safe life and we have to work the sweat, tears, and everything of our own. And I feel like it's just not the right thing. So I just wanted to come up here and say, when is blackness ever going to stop being a weapon to y'all, and when are y'all ever going to stop being scared of our strength?
Alright, well, my name's Noah. I'm a 10th grader in North Community High School. I play football, I play baseball, did a little bit of wrestling, and we kneel. When we kneel, whether we go away, whether we stay home. I kneel for my brothers. I kneel because I feel their pain. Except I can't experience it. I kneel because I feel for them. I respect them, I love them, they're my brothers, they're my teammates. And the majority of the schools we go up against, it's all white. And they be like, oh, but y'all got a white team, y'all fine. It's not a white kid on y'all team, y'all fine. It's not fine because redlining, man. And it's not okay. I kneel because I want to feel, I love them. I love my brothers. I want to love all of them. When there's shootings, when I hear shots, I'm writing the text. I'm texting all my friends. I'm texting all the teammates. I text the chat. Are y'all okay? Are y'all safe? Because I love them. I don't want them to be hurt. I don't want them to be taken away. They don't deserve that. They did nothing wrong. And that's all I gotta say. Yeah.
I don't want to use that, but I'm Amir Jackson. I'm your student body president. I get really emotional on this stuff because it's just been happening for so long, and like I've gotten to the point where I didn't even know what to do. And I know there's some of my peers that are just like, they just want to give up and they have no idea what to do because our ancestors have been fighting for this for centuries and decades and forever, and it's not fair. It is not fair, and we will not give up if we all stay together. And I mean that. I met Jacob Fry some time ago, and I just thought that was the best thing because I was a little girl, and I'm like, oh, he's the mayor. He's helping us, but is he? My question to you, Jacob Fry, do you really care about us? Do you care about what we're doing here? And we're standing here to tell you that we want justice because this is not fair, and I don't want to see my people die again and again and again and again, and it's not fair. I know that this is really hard on everyone. And I just want to tell you all, don't give up. Please don't give up because that's what they want us to do. They want us to give up. But if this was a white person killed from a black person, they would be sitting here too, and we would be in jail already. So put them in jail too. That's all we're asking for. And to just stop the crime, stop it. Because we don't want to die. We don't want to die. We don't want to see our kids die. I have to be afraid that my child, when I grow up, that he's gonna die too, because we just want this to stop, and it's not fair.
Okay, so the last thing I wanted to say was that, because I got off early because I was nervous, but the last thing I wanted to say was like, if the mayor's hearing this, like, we're not even trying to start nothing. We're not trying to fight anybody. We're not trying to start any, you know, wars or nothing between us and the police. We're just trying to get our point across that, like, y'all need to stop doing this. Because, like, what y'all doing this is not making anything better. Y'all are pushing everybody away. Y'all making people not want to mess with y'all no more. And it's like, no, y'all just need to stop and, like, y'all need to, like, improve yourselves, all of that. Because with y'all just, like, killing us for no reason and, like, not actually doing y'all job, y'all, no. That's, if y'all get what I'm saying, like, no, y'all just need to stop doing that. So, like, we're not, like I said, like, we're not trying to start nothing. We're just trying to get our point across. And we're trying to let you know that you're not doing your job right. And the more you don't help, the more we're going to keep fighting. And we're not going to stop. So the more we fight, we're going to get we're trying to get as much power as we can to make it stop, and it's going to work. It may not work right away, but it's going to work. So that's all we need to do is keep fighting and, like, don't give up on everybody. Like, there's some people, I think some people out here saying, like, ain't no point in rioting and all that stuff and protesting because, like, it doesn't work. But it's gonna work. They're just not hearing us clearly. We have to, you know, say his name louder. We gotta say everybody's name louder. And, you know, we gotta, you know, make our point get across and let everybody know, like, we're not the one to play with. Thank you.
One last thing for me, and then I'm going to introduce a very special guest. So all I got to say is that, you know, I have to miss my time. You read my time? Like my sign said, you cannot kill the revolution. We here are the revolution. You cannot kill this. You cannot take this place. As much as they want to, they can't, because you know why? Because we're powerful. That's how powerful we are. So, with that being said, I want to introduce Leslie Redmond, the former NAACP president. Hey, give it up for Leslie.
Grace and peace, young people. Grace and peace. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Y'all should feel very empowered. I am so proud of each and every one of you all. So my first protest was when I was a senior in high school. Yeah, amen. Listen up everybody. My first protest was when I was a senior in high school. It is never too early to get activated, right? I like to say, don't complain, activate. Because you all are the change that we need right now. You all can influence policy. You all can influence practices. And I heard a lot of you up here speak, and a lot of you spoke about promise, and a lot of you spoke of defeat, right? I know it's easy to feel like this system doesn't care about us. This system keeps killing us. This system keeps knocking us on our feet. But I want you all to know that divided we will fall, but united we will stand. Amen? Yesterday I had an opportunity to stand with the Minnesota teen activists as they were standing, and it looked like it looks out here a little bit, right? It had white people and black people united, standing together. We are black excellence. We are black greatness, right? I like to say, black Minnesota, we are done dying, and white Minnesota, you are done hiding, because your white Wakanda has been discovered, and it's time for black people's humanity to be recognized, right? Because back in the day, my big mom used to talk about claiming it in advance, speaking it in advance. I want you all to see yourselves as the mayor. I want you all to see yourselves as the governor. I want you all to see yourself as the lawyer, right? Before you know it, you all will be of voting age. But even right now, you can go to the school board meetings. Sister Sharon is right here for the school board. You have the support of your representatives. You have the support of your principal. You have the support of your staff. And you all have the support of the community. I don't know if y'all know, but everybody, we love North High School, okay? And we are standing with you all. So say his name. Y'all not loud enough. I want Jacob Fry. Y'all know his office is here, right? I want Jacob Fry to be able to hear y'all. Say his name. Say his name. When I say don't complain, I want y'all to say activate. Don't complain. Activate. Don't complain. Activate. Don't complain. Activate. So I want, no matter how far y'all going, like, because before y'all know it, y'all gonna be where I'm at today, talking to young people, building with young people, right? Because y'all are not the future. They got it wrong. Y'all are the now. Y'all are the now. It is y'all time right now. Right? It's almost their time. We need to be grooming and preparing you all to be the leaders. Because we can't keep asking. We can't keep begging. We can't keep demanding. Because people keep dying. I came here for law school 7 years ago. My first protest here was for Jamar Clark. Y'all remember Jamar Clark? Where y'all was at? Middle school or somewhere? Yeah. Okay? And look at y'all now. We're still here. Black men are still dying. I went to Louisville, Kentucky and got arrested for the first time in life for Breonna Taylor because her black life didn't matter. And had they fixed no-knock warrants with them, we wouldn't be here now. Amen? Amen. And so I want you all to be the change that you want to see. I am so proud of each and every one of y'all today. I want you all to feel empowered when you leave here today. Your food was amazing. I want you all to feel empowered. These words was amazing. I want you all to know that we are standing with you. Okay, I love you all. My name is Leslie E. Redmond. Follow me on social media, inbox me. Let's figure out how to get you all plugged in, involved, and activated. Amen? All right. So, thank you. First of all, thank you, bud. Yeah, I'm hungry. Oh, yeah, but thank you for everybody who spoke. I can take them. Oh, that's cool. Hey, that's cool. Hey, you got
Hey, come on, help us with the pizza.
Ew.
What the hell? It's a Maya. It's all guys, let's get on this side so we can get back out. Where's my head? It's not even one.
All right, if you guys are with us, we are getting ready to speak to hopefully some of the city officials about what the students have said today. We are at a sit-in at the Minneapolis City Hall. As you can see, high school students have stood up and demanded justice for Amir Locke. There's a couple of dozen students here, mainly, I believe, from North High School. They walked out at 12:30, caught the city bus here, and have been sitting in. What's unclear at this time is just how long they plan to sit in. We're not sure if this is going to go just for the work day or school day, or if they plan to stay even into the evening. So we're going to keep an eye on this. We also know that there's a few other protests that are planned tonight and this evening as well. Would you be willing to do a quick interview?
I mean, Jeremiah's school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll give you this.
Okay.
people who are listening right now, watching right now, we're live streaming. Can you state who you are, what your position is?
Yes, I'm Latricia Vita, and I'm the city council member representing Ward 4.
And you're new to this position, right?
Yes, 1 month.
And can you just share, from your perspective, how you feel about the students today?
I think it's wonderful. You know, I just said to some folks, like, I would have been one of these young people when I was in high school 30 years ago. Like, I think it's their right, and they should know that it's okay to walk into City Hall and express yourself and tell elected leaders how they feel.
And as a city councilor yourself, what is your approach to responding to the killing of Amir Locke?
So I've just been learning a lot, right? Like so many other people, I thought no-knock warrants were banned in the city of Minneapolis, and I've just been learning. I've been here for a month. I want to make sure whatever next steps we take, we do it right, so we have no tragedies in the future. So I'm doing my best to work with my colleagues on that.
And then now we're uncertain how long the students are going to be here at City Hall today. We know this is a city that might go into the evening. We're uncertain. We're following that. But are you aware of whether or not they've locked other doors to prohibit students from going to sit in by the mayor's office?
No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I came down the elevator through a door that is always closed, so I'm not sure. My office isn't where the mayor's office is, and I don't really go over.
Has there been any concern about security? Has there been any?
No, not that I heard. I actually heard that there was a peaceful sit-in happening. I was outside the building somewhere else, and I heard that there was a peaceful sit-in, North High students, and I ran over.
And could you talk about the delicate balance, right? Especially in Ward 4, you think about the community violence that's happening and how many residents really did want to figure out a way to work with the police department to keep the community safe. But on the other side of that, people not wanting to be killed by police. Where do you see that delicate balance of having a public safety system that can both protect us but also hold officers accountable when they wrongfully use fatal force?
That's such a good question, Georgia, and I think that that's something as a community we all have to work on. We you know, my ward had the most murders in the city last year, and that hasn't always been the case, and people feel unsafe. And people don't, as you said, people don't want to be killed by police. So it's important that we all work together and figure out what that safety feels like. I don't want to be the person who, says it. We need to work with young people. We need to work with older people. We need to work with everyone who feels like they have a voice in order to get there. I feel really good about us getting there, and community violence has to stop for sure. The same weekend, I lost a young man that I love, that I watched grow up. And so, community violence is one thing, police violence, it all hurts our community. It's all bad. And we're committed to doing the work.
And then just to wrap things up, could you talk about, what can the city do? And what do you think should be done? Do you think that the officer in this specific case should be held accountable? Are you planning to use your political capital to try to push for anything specifically in this case?
So I don't know enough yet. I'm still learning what's happening. Things are still coming out, and I don't want to misspeak and say something. I'm not the elected official that's going to give people false promises or hopes of things that I don't know if I even have the power to do. So I'm taking time learning, finding out more, and I hope that, in the near future, that we all make a great decision.
Anything I didn't ask you
No.
that you want to share?
No.
Anything else that you think is important for people to know about what's happening in our
I think it's great for people to reach out to their elected leaders or their community members. Lean on people in these hard times and understand that, there's people here for you to talk and listen through. We have to grieve these things properly, and we definitely have to express ourselves.
Patricia, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Georgia.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. If you guys are just joining, that is one of the city councilors. We're going to try to speak to a few others here now as well.
Hi,
Hey,
How are
thank
you?
so much for speaking with me. We're live streaming right now.
Okay.
So if you can just share, for people who are unfamiliar with who you are, what your name is, what your role is, and what you think about the student sit-in today.
Yeah, my name is Aisha Chugtai. I represent the 10th Ward on the Minneapolis City Council. And I'm really excited that we have so many people here in our building today, so many youth involved in this shooting, and that we need to come out and correct the record as a city, because and make clear that Amir was not listed on the warrant. He was not a suspect. He happened to be there. Yeah.
And are you considering using your political capital to help push any of those demands forward?
I've been talking with the mayor about it, and have brought it up to him every chance I've gotten. And I know I'm not alone in that. I know a lot of council members have been doing that, and we haven't seen anything come from him yet on it.
And so what do you think happens next? At this point, we're a week out from when Amir Locke was fatally shot.
Yeah.
None of the demands have been met yet. We're continuously seeing hundreds, thousands of people who are hitting the streets making demands on this. What do you see from your vantage point as being the next steps from here for the city of Minneapolis?
I think we need to hold the mayor accountable to following and listening to the family, listening to the people who are affected, listening to a grieving community that's asking for really, really clear asks right now.
Anything else I didn't ask that you want to add?
Thank you so much for being here and for covering this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Again, if you are just joining us, we are here at City Hall. We're going to speak with another individual here. If you can, we're live streaming. So if you can just share, for people who are unfamiliar with who you are, your name, your title, and what you think about today's sit-in by students.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Council Member Wansley Wallaby. I represent Ward 2, further southeast of Minneapolis, and really excited about today's action, especially as having the ward that represents the most students. We have the University of Minnesota at Augsburg. I was sharing, that it's unfortunate that we've had so much activity in City Hall under these circumstances in terms of MPD killing another young black man. And not only having students be here, but just a couple of days ago, mothers of other victims of police violence yesterday were here. Then last week, for the past week and a half, we've had community leaders, mothers, students say, why are we still in this predicament? And I just have to say, as a council member, you're absolutely right. Leadership failed you. And that leadership is Mayor Frey. He has the sole authority over MPD. And for 2 years, we've seen promises be made that have went broken. We've seen lies be made to the public about reforms. And all of those things has led us to this moment. And I think all of the students communicated this today, that we deserve better, that they should have a safety system in place that they can call upon in every crisis, and don't feel like they have that. They have to call their principal. They have to call their friends when they're in trouble. And that's a failure amongst our mayor, amongst our leadership in MPD. And it shows that there is so much pressure, and there is a responsibility, a necessary responsibility for leadership and the mayor to provide something different. And if not, it's clear the community is going to move forward with creating that different, either with them being here or not. So I'm here in solidarity with our communities all the way, and look forward to using my position in office to amplify the needs and the demands of our community to get the change that we need, so we don't have to be here again.
Absolutely. And I have a couple more questions, but I'm going to turn around here because I'm about
The signs.
Yes.
Yes.
Here and left here. Can you just mentioned briefly about your desire and your commitment to using your position to bring forth some of these demands. And right now, the demands have been to fire the officer, for the mayor to resign, for the interim police chief to be terminated. Do you agree with all those things? And how can you use your position? How do you plan to use your position to bring forth some of those demands that you agree with?
Absolutely. I think, one of the biggest demands of my campaign and coming into City Hall was around creating a new Department of Public Safety. And the community members were told that we did not need that, by our mayor, by all of Minneapolis, by a number of coalitions and PACs that said that reform was the way. We needed to trust in the leadership of Rondo, and we were going to be fine. And we're here 3 months later after the elections and seeing that that is not true. We don't have a chief in place that is providing leadership, that's enacting reforms that was promised. And we also don't have a mayor that is honoring the promises that he's made to communities over and over again during his 4-year tenure and in the wake of, George Floyd's murder. So I think we need actions like this. We need the community to come out. I wish, students would have went all throughout City Hall so that the mayors or council members could have heard.
Were you able to, were some of the doors locked? I heard that there were some measures that were put in place.
Yes, the doors were locked, and I think that was in anticipation because I think that's a security measure that was triggered. I'm not sure. They never gave us information on why that was so.
So can you, because I don't think people can hear me, can you just state in your own words that today the doors were locked, why they were locked, and why you agree or disagree with that?
Well, I think doors was locked because there was an order. To get to the city council chambers and to get to the mayor's chambers. Because I absolutely agree. Those demands need to come directly to those who can actually act on this. As council, we have the power. As mayor, he has the sole authority over MPD. We need to hear those demands directly, and clearly protocols were made in place today that limit the ability for all of us leaders to hear that direct input, those demands from our youngest, residents today. And no, I don't agree with that.
Where do we go from here? I mean, this is like the world, it feels like it's watching Minneapolis again. People thought we were going to get it right after George Floyd, but then there was Dalal Eid, and then after Dalal Eid, there was, and Dante Wright was in Brooklyn Center, but it still was a part of this community in the Twin Cities. Then you had Winston Smith, and then now you have Amir Locke. And so here we are in less than 2 years, several high-profile police killings, and it seems like we haven't really found a solution, or we haven't quite shifted the culture in order for there to be accountability and for there to be prevention of these things happening. So where, from your vantage point, as a political figure here in the city, where do we go from here?
Yeah, and I mentioned in my previous, response that, voters were told that a new Department of Public Safety was not the way to go. I think that absolutely is the path to go. And I also recognize that that cannot happen under the leadership that we have right now, under the governmental structure that we have right now that places the mayor, and particularly the particular mayor that we have right now in office, that work cannot move forward under that leadership. So I absolutely agree. Right now, City Council, the mayor, there needs to be efforts made for, if resignations is the pathway, on, the chief, on the mayor, that needs to happen. Officers involved with this shooting needs to be charged. All of those things need to happen. And as council, once those things are in place, we need to be making sure we're moving forward with creating a new Department of Public Safety that creates safety for everyone, that actually invests in the models of mental health responses, the array of crisis response that we've been denied and that has not been funded and staffed in the capacity that it needs to, so that all of our folks are kept safe at the end of the day, and knowing that that does not come with someone showing up with a gun at 6:30 in the morning. So I think we have that space to create that new department, but it cannot happen under this leadership.
Anything else that I didn't ask you that you wanted to add?
I mean, again, power to the people. This is how change is made. These doors are not always locked. There's other ways to communicate these demands. Call, email every council member, the mayor's office. Let them know that action needs to be taken immediately, that you recognize that lies has led to Amir's death. And we will not tolerate, on the mayor's watch, this happening again without immense amount of action being taken as soon as possible. So I encourage people to please keep up the pressure. Please keep contacting us and letting folks know that we need to act, and we need to act now.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I
you,
really
Georgia.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And finally, before we wrap things up here, we're just going to check in with Leslie Redmond, former president of the Minneapolis NAACP. Leslie, you have been very active the last couple of days here, specifically the actions that were organized by youth. And even before Amir Locke, Leslie, you have continuously been a leader on this issue. I believe going back to Jamar Clark. And so this is even before George Floyd, this was an issue here in the city of Minneapolis. How does it feel all of these years later to still be here, standing up, advocating for the families, advocating for accountability? And do you feel like with Amir Locke that maybe things will change, or do you feel like it's kind of this repeated cycle that we're stuck in?
You know, one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about young people is because I'm a young person, right? I'll be 30 in March. My first protest was when I was in high school. And I remember very clearly when Sean Bell was murdered the day before his wedding, right? I remember when Oscar Grant was murdered. I was in Florida when Trayvon Martin was murdered. I was a college student. And so a lot of times people think, oh, they're young, they're not in the midst. No, young people are very aware. And not only are they aware, but they have the power, right? One day they'll be in my position. And it's important that we start igniting that flame now, because to your point, change is going to only happen if the people in positions of power make it happen, right? And if they can't make it happen, I remember after Jamar Clark got murdered, I testified to the Minneapolis City Council and I said, if you don't do something, if you don't create change and transformation, you will lose your seat. I think most of them are all gone now. It might be just a couple left. And so for me, I know that change starts from the people. The people have the power. And so I'm always making sure to uplift the people. I'm heartbroken that Amir Locke had to lose his life. As I said, when George Floyd was murdered, it didn't have to happen. If change and transformation happened, black people still wouldn't be murdered. We need to ban no-knock warrants. But it's not just about the policy of no-knock warrant, Georgia. It goes way beyond that. And for me, it's in the fabric of America. When America built this quote-unquote nation that was really built on the backs of black people, right? We built this economy up. They never tried to acknowledge our humanity. And when those officers barged in that apartment, they didn't recognize Amir Locke as a person. Because had they wouldn't have murdered him in 9 seconds. That doesn't happen to white people. And when it happens to white people like Justine Damon, it's immediately corrected and it never happens again. I was there when Justine Damon was murdered as well. It's never happened again like that.
And, you know, it's been 7 days. Today marks 1 week since Amir Locke was fatally shot. The demand I heard from community have been for Mark Hanneman, the officer, to be fired, for the interim police chief to be fired, for Mayor Fry to resign. Can you talk about those demands, and do you think that they'll be met? Do you think they might be dismissed? What are your thoughts about where we are 1 week after this has happened, and so far it seems like there's been no movement on any of those requests?
Georgia, it's crazy that it's like crickets, right? And this is what I'm talking about. Nothing happens until people activate. And then when people activate, people are like, oh, y'all need to stop blocking traffic. Y'all need to stop protesting. But I don't know why the officer hasn't been fired. I think the officer should be fired. I don't know why interim Chief Huffman is still in position. I don't think she should be in position. And as for Mayor Fry, I think that he's in a very pivotal place right now, right? Like every move that he make is going to be important. And if he doesn't make the right moves, even if he doesn't run for re-election, this will be his history. This will be the legacy he leaves behind. It'll be that we lost George Floyd and we lost Amir Locke on your watch, right? And so what is the change and transformation that's going to happen? And I'm just tired, you know? I'm tired. And I remember George Floyd being murdered, and I was already exhausted before that. And then Daunte Wright was murdered in the middle of Chauvin's trial. And like, here we are again. Like one young lady said, I've been exhausted for 2 years. She said she's been tired for 2 years. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we want change and transformation. And if you all don't create change and transformation, you won't be in position of the power anymore, and we'll just remove you, and prayerfully the next person will. And also, I do think that it's alarming. Like, people are calling for Jacob Fry to resign. I don't want to jump over that like you didn't say it, because you did say it. That's not my specific demand, but I do think that people should be awake and alert, because the power still lies in the people. And if the people get loud enough, change will happen.
And to your point about Huffman, could you elaborate for people who maybe have not been following, people maybe who are watching now that aren't in Minneapolis and don't understand why there's that demand? Can you talk about why you specifically feel like, and why what you've heard from community on why Huffman should be terminated?
100%. And I've heard you say it as well. It's a combination between the chief and the media and the press and what has been communicated, right? So what we have demanded time and time again is transparency. What we've demanded time and time again is honesty. And we've also demanded, when you make a mistake, to own your mistake and move forward accordingly. When everything came to the light, they were making it seem like Amir Locke was the suspect. They actually named him as a suspect in a press release. I haven't really seen them apologize for that. Still to this day, I've never seen them say, you know what, our apologies. I heard Khadijah, one of the students, even say it. You all made a mistake. You positioned it, and then the media released his gun as if, oh, we can't say that this was an unarmed black man. I know what they were trying to do with that narrative, right? He had a gun. They didn't say it was registered. They didn't say that he didn't have his hand on the trigger to actually shoot the police officer. They really posed him as the threat. They posed him as the villain. They tried to basically do a cover-up. And they criminalized him. They criminalized Amir Locke. And again, we've seen this happen time and time again. They tried to criminalize Jamar Clark. They tried to criminalize George Floyd. Criminal is the new N-word. Somebody says suspect is the new N-word, right? And so basically they tried to say, this doesn't matter. He was in the wrong. We were in the right. And to me, they've never rectified that. Right? Also, another misstep that I think she made is that she could have immediately fired the officers. Here we are, day 7, and she's done nothing. This is creating bad precedent. You know what I mean? Because George Floyd, it's like God made it so everybody in the world had to pay attention. It was like he was being lynched on a tree, except for it was with a knee, right? And so you couldn't run for that. Of course those officers had to be fired. But what are we going to have the courage to do it even when it's not George Floyd? That becomes the question now, right? When it's not a knee on the neck and they're using a gun to lynch a black man, when are you all going to have the courage to fire them? Don't wait on the results. Don't wait on the charges being brought up. Why do we have to make it where the legal system is leading? Why can't people in power have the courage to make ethical decisions? Because there's a difference between law and ethics. Slavery was once legal, may I remind you all, right? And so when are we going to make ethical, sound decisions? And I said at the press conference the other day, that's why I appreciated Chief Arredondo. Not saying that he's a perfect man, but I believe that he was holding officers accountable, right? Not only did Huffman not hold officers accountable, not only did she allow Amir Locke to be criminalized, when she was questioned about it and when Amir Fry was questioned about it, they walked out of the press conference. And I haven't seen them back. I haven't seen them back. I've been at so many different community events, so many different community uprisings. When are you going to be a servant leader and serve the people and show up to the people? I mean, both of their offices are here, right? I know they know the students were down here. If I was in leadership, I would own it, and I would come and face the people. But it is what it is, I guess.
Anything I didn't ask you that you want to add? Anything that you think is important that we haven't touched on yet?
I just want to send my love out to Amir Locke's family. I want to send my love out to every family who has had to relive this trauma. So many families have lost their lives to police brutality, right? Shout out to family supporting families. And I want to say that enough is enough. Not one more black life can be lost. Not any more blood should be shed. It is time for us to really recognize black people's humanity. It's time for us to get the reparations that we deserve. It's time for us to get the repair that we deserve. I haven't seen the governor, I haven't seen the mayor's office offer any mental health support, any healing spaces, anything, recognizing that the people are in pain. And this would never happen if it was white communities continue to be inflicted with pain.
Well, Leslie, I want to thank you for your time, and I also want to just acknowledge you as a Black woman who has been leading in this community on this issue, that you've continued to sacrifice your body, that you continue to show up and use your voice. And so I just want to thank you and affirm you, because this is a very challenging time. And for those of you guys who are watching, how can folks follow you and support your Don't Complain, Activate campaign?
And I love you, and I thank God for you, and I thank God for your leadership and for you capturing the real stories that's going on in the community.
Absolutely.
You can follow me everywhere at Leslie, Leslie, middle initial E, last name Redmond, Redmond, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Leslie E. Redmond. Remember, don't complain, activate.
That's right. Don't complain, activate. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We'll have a recap on today's student sit-in at City Hall. We'll hang out a little bit longer, hoping to connect with Jeremiah Ellison and talk to him about what happened today. So if we do get a chance to bump into him, we'll have that coverage for you later. There's also a protest this evening that will be live streaming as well. Please, if you're able to support independent journalism, you can do so by heading over to my website, georgiafort.com. That's the only way I'm able to keep showing up and keep providing coverage. So for those of you watching, thank you so much. In Minneapolis, I'm Georgia Fort.